What's up guys, my name is Andy. Today is the day I'm finally going to start my new 347 stroker motor. I just got done finished installing all of the parts. I had to go through and put the transmission on, put the radiator in, hook up the exhaust, and then do all the electrical stuff, hook up all the wires and everything that needs to go to this. I had to actually finish bleeding the hydraulic master cylinder as I put that in while this was out getting built. So I'm going from the cable clutch setup to the hydraulic setup. So I had to do that. I had a bunch of stuff I had to do to get it ready. And all the fluids are in. I got the transmission fluid in, the coolant's in, the oil's in, gas is in the car. Everything's ready to go. Everything's plugged in. All we need to do is just turn the key. I'm a little nervous. You know, I had this is my third Mustang. My first Mustang, I had a red Mustang that I took the 289 out of there and I put a 302 in. I took a lot of the same parts that I had on my 289 off and just put it on that motor. So I knew they all would work, and you basically just had to just fire it up and it was fine. This, I'm sure it's gonna be fine, but I'm still a little nervous. I've been kind of stalling actually. This has probably been, probably 2 days from the time that I could have probably started it till now. Just, I don't want it to go wrong. I don't want it to not work. You know, I've been double checking all of my connections, double checking all the bolts, making sure everything's tight, and I've been stalling because I don't want it to not work. But I'm excited. Today is the day, and so let's get started. Just to recap, again, this is a 347 stroker that I took a roller 302 motor and bored it out and put in the new internals. I'm reusing my intake manifold that I had on my 289. I'm reusing the exhaust system, just some JBA shorties. And then I put in a new radiator with electric fans. And then the carburetor, it's a 750 CFM Holley unit. I'm not as familiar with Holley. I do know that, you know, I can just put it on the motor and the motor will fire up how the carb is out of the box, but I do need to tune it and dial it in for not only the climate, because it's really cold right now when I'm doing this. It'll be warmer in the summer, so that'll change some things, but I also need to go through and fine tune, you know, making sure this carb is perfect for this motor. But for right now, all we need to do is just, it will fire up and it should work there, assuming that I put everything together, right? So yeah, I've got some extra coolant in here, so as we turn this over and get things fired up, we can get all the air out of the system, and I think we're set. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to just turn the motor over and just make sure that, you know, everything is turning. I've got the wire for the coil just pulled off of the coil, so it won't fire up, but we'll turn the key and make sure that it turns over. And then if everything looks good there, I think we'll put the wire in the coil and and cross our fingers. So let's get to it. All right. We'll pull this off here. That's not going to change anything because we're not firing it up, but we can get out of the way. And let's turn on the car. All right, everything turns over. I don't know what else I'm missing. I think I'm overthinking it. I'm worried too much that I missed something somewhere, and I'm probably not thinking something obvious. So everything's in place. Nothing looks like it's leaking. There's nothing leaking here. Looks like we got fuel in the carb from the pump, so that's good. Nothing is leaking. There's no drips underneath the motor, that's good. Well, let's cross our fingers and fire it up, guys. Got to hook up the coil. That's a good sign. I'm so excited. Oh, she works. She works. I guess I gotta adjust the throttle or the idle screws to make that so that it idles where I want, but it's a good sign. Yay! Guys, I waited too long to put the radiator cap back on. Yeah, so I'm gonna clean up this mess first. Guys, I'm an idiot. I know I'm supposed to come across like I know what I'm doing in these videos, but this one, okay, so what happened? I had the camera off because I was just kind of doing, fiddling with a couple things. I wanted to check the timing and that kind of stuff and just kind of mess with the idle screw, just kind of mess with the car, which doesn't really translate into exciting content for the video. And so I turned the camera off and I'm watching, making sure there's no leaks anywhere and everything looks good. And I've got that funnel here on the radiator and I'm watching for the bubbles to stop bubbling to kind of let me know that I got all the air out of the system. And then with the way that's designed, you can take it off and everything's good. Well, I checked it again right before I was going to do the timing and there was still just a couple little bubbles. I'm like, well, maybe I just don't have everything yet. So I'll just give it a little more time. I'm getting the timing light kind of plugged in and everything, getting ready to go. And all of a sudden it just starts erupting. and it went everywhere. It's on the wall, it's on my windshield, on the fenders, on the floor. I spent half hour, 45 minutes just cleaning everything up, wiping everything down. The whole motor, it just looks like I just took a bath with this thing. The whole front of the car, these little slats here in the grill, there's still coolant in here. I can't get all of it out. It just won't soak up. It's just everywhere. And so got it all cleaned up, and you know, I think what happened is I was trying to figure out what was going on, and the fuse for my electric fans had blown. I don't know when that happened. I don't know what was going on there. And to be honest, I don't know that the fans turned on earlier. I wasn't paying attention. They might have, I don't know. I was focused on so many things, I wasn't paying attention. I suspect that the motor started to get really hot, and that's what was causing that eruption of coolant everywhere. And so this is a good place to stop. I'm still wiping stuff down, trying to get everything cleaned up, and I'm gonna again just kind of fiddle with it a little bit, kind of get it dialed in. But I think this is still a win. We got the motor started. It more or less fired up on the first try, right? I mean, you know, I had to give it a little bit of gas, whatever, but she fired up, and it works on the first try, which I give a lot of credit to my engine builder, and he said that just plug it in and fire it up. And I thought there's probably more to it than that. My last motor that I had built and put in my first Mustang, it was that simple. I think I was overthinking it and expecting too much to happen. I have a lot of new parts on here that I haven't figured out. I mean, this new carb, well, the whole motor's new. This coolant system, I did a lot of rewiring and moving things in the engine bay to kind of get everything prepped for this setup. And I just had a lot of eggs, you know, in this or what is it? A lot of irons in the fire, right? Just trying to do everything, and I think I was overthinking it. But in the end, she fired right up, and she purrs, and I just got to do a little tweaking to dial it in. So, guys, that's that's it. That's you know. Don't do what I did. Don't get a little greedy with trying to get every last bubble out of there. I mean, there shouldn't be any bubbles, but I think with the fans not working, I think that's what was causing the problem, is the motor got too hot. And that eruption is kind of the indicator that, hey, dummy, pay attention to what you're doing. So, all right, guys, that takes care of that. Oh, I got one more thing I wanted to show you guys. How about a shameless plug on my t-shirt? I had a previous video where I talked about it, but here it is again. It says KruseBuilt on the front, and on the back, it's got my car. I had a guy draw up my car, and so we can make some t-shirts out of it. And just a limited run on these. If you guys go to KruseBuilt.com, you'll see it on the website there, and with all the other parts that I'm selling. And this new strut bar too that I just released. So you guys, or Monte Carlo bar, if you guys want to check that out. So guys, if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up, and if you subscribe, I appreciate it because it helps my channel out, and we'll see you in the next one.